All right, fellas, so this is the third and final installment of Stage 4, the category missions for the collection of epic battles over here on Global Dokkan, part of the very epic Tech Bardock celebration, which, by the way, is not so epic. But we are here giving it our all, doing the no-item run against, again, the Stage 4, the collection of epic battles, basically all of the cells and the Android Cell Saga enemies. So this category mission is Android Cell Saga. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this. This is probably well, not probably, this is definitely the easier route to go. This is all superclass Android Cell Saga units, right? So the thing about these stages, the collection of epic battles, is they are heavily, heavily weighted towards either superclass or extreme class, depending on the stage. So this particular stage gives massive damage reduction against extreme class allies, right? So your team, if it's extreme class, it's getting a ton of damage reduction against it. Now, certainly the stage is still possible, but obviously it's going to behoove us to just run super class units in here. And we have enough to do the job. So what I found with this stage is Android Cell Saga, dude, just in the end, again, we have enough to get it done. But it needs a little help, man. It needs something, right? It did get AGL LR Gohan, but and then of course int LR Cell on the extreme side. But a lot of these Super Saiyan type characters from the Android Cell Saga are just straight up outdated, right? So you look at this unit here. I do want to talk a fair amount, not this unit. I do want to talk a fair amount about the STR Goku Gohan Exchange unit, who is the leader of this team. Now, he doesn't lead Android Cell Saga, but the 200% leader skill portion, the extra 30%, belongs to the Android Cell Saga portion of that leader skill. So as you can see, by the way, before I get into that unit, took down 19 and Jiro right there. You remember, you can stun that guy, so Super Vegeta coming in big time clutch right there, getting the stun and the additional super. And then that way they're not able to absorb Ki Blasts. So in case you guys did not know that, you can stun them to kind of help yourself along. But again, the STR Goku Gohan Exchange unit, 170 to Super Saiyans and Goku's family, and as I mentioned, the additional 30% going to Android Cell Saga. As I mentioned, we did get the AGL LR Gohan EZA, a big-time mega buff to this squad, right? That guy is basically the whole team between him and then the Tech LR Goku and Gohan, the sort of what-if card. One of the few what-if cards that Dokkan actually has. One of the better units on this team, right, for sure. But AGL LR Gohan, man, absolutely just carries. You see him consistently in this video, just triple supering, guarding. We do finally get his transformation in the final phase, right? Kind of a canonical finish, which is really, really cool. Just a little bit of style points, right? Never hurt anybody. But again, STR Goku and Gohan, man, I have never, I don't want to say never, there are a lot of wonky units in terms of the 200% leaders. It seems as though they're wonky. A lot of these 200% TURs, the only ones that really aren't wonky are like the top 3 in the game, right? You've got like Gamma 1, Gamma 2, Kid Goku. And like the rest of these units, man, they're just, and I guess you could say Tech Bardock. Tech Bardock is actually quite a, I would rope him in there as well. In terms of just like non-EZA TURs who actually function well running them as a double leader, right? This unit, man, you just don't want to run as a double leader, and there are several reasons for it. So they give themselves no ki. They provide no one else on the team any ki. It's not as though they're Rainbow Orb changing, or as I said, like with Bardock, you have the Scouter or something of that nature. They're just kind of, like, what do they actually do in terms of, like, helping the team? I guess you could say they stun. They do dodge. They have a 50% chance to dodge, but it's really limited to slot 2. So it's not even though they're a dodging unit, but you can't run them in slot 1. It's just like, what are they actually doing? And if they get like a double super, they're rocking like I don't know, like what, 500k defense, maybe. I might even be overselling that a little bit in terms of getting the double super. 500k, man, you get tagged with a super, even in here, man, you're getting just crushed, right? And even getting tagged with normals and such. And this is rainbowed level 10 links, right? And this is their ideal setup, more or less. It's their own team. They do stack attack, which is nice. You can just have them kind of stack up attack forever. If you can actually get the exchange portion of this unit, the actual Super Saiyan Gohan portion of this unit, that guy's really good. Only problem is he even needs to get built up, right? He doesn't get his big-time, massive, extreme defense until he gets hit. He needs to get hit 6 times, dude, to be fully built up. And you have to do it, I believe, within 3 turns, right? So if you're not taking a lot of hits in slot 1, then you're just out of luck, man, and he's never going to reach his full potential. He again, it seems as though they make these TURs with wonkiness included, right? Like as if they don't want you to run 2 of the unit. I don't really understand. I mean, you see it with, Majin Vegeta, Tech Pan, the ROF Blues. Need I even mention Raditz, right? Like any of these units, man, you just really aren't wanting to run more than one of. Again, except for the 3 that I mentioned earlier. So that, I really do have kind of an issue with this team, and it's with that unit in particular. It's not like this unit can get us like big time clutch stuns. I mean, 5 million attack stat right there is like kind of middling at this point, right? Like there are a lot of units who can do a lot more damage than them. And yeah, this unit is basically a year old, or what, closing in on a year old. How old are they? Yeah, they were the Golden Week unit, right? This unit and then AGL Cell, who again is another one of those units where it's just kind of wonky, right? You don't want to run 2 of that unit if you can help it. So again, being almost a year old, I mean, certainly is kind of in their favor, right? Because, units weren't... The power creep just truly exploded, we know, after the 7th anniversary, but in recent times, like with like LR Power Awakened Piccolo and like some of these big time massive LRs, right? The power creep just even exploded even more, right? So again, the unit is almost a year old next month, so certainly not to be discounted there. But even since release, I have been very, very low on this unit. And since I have them rainbowed and level 10 links, I haven't really ever been... There's never been a run where I'm like, damn, glad I had that unit on the team. It's always like, oh, great, they didn't dodge for me. I'm dead again, or something of the like. And like you can't really run them in long events. Their defense isn't good enough. Red zone defense isn't good enough. Again, if you can get the exchange, which is, by the way, very, very RNG dependent, you have to double super on either turn 1 or turn 3, or, whatever, turn 2 or turn 4. You have to double super, or you're looking at a turn 7 exchange. Most of these events are barely going 7 turns. 7, 8, 9, I mean, 10 tops. I mean, you're getting 1 turn of the exchange. And to get that unit maxed out, remember, as I said, you have to get them hit 6 times. I'm very low on this unit. I have been for a long, long time. 55% rainbow doesn't matter. A very disappointing unit, just overall. I do not like running this card. But I didn't really see much else of an option. I maybe could have got away with like a double AGL LR Gohan lead. I maybe could have. I don't know. Full Android Cell Saga, though, I don't know. That's kind of pushing it. I can't even really think of, right off the bat, I can't think of a bunch of units that are on Kamehameha. Spoiler alert, there are not that many in the Android Cell Saga also on Kamehameha. I mean, to be honest, there are probably more cells than like superclass units on that category for the Android Cell Saga. So again, I've shit on them, I guess, long enough. It's been a solid, 8 minutes of just shitting on STR, Goku, and Gohan. We're already here on the Dokkan attack. So I guess we can kind of quickly go over some of the other units on the team. I mentioned very briefly the Tech Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Gohan. That unit, other than AGL LR Gohan, is absolutely carrying damage. So they actually make a pretty formidable rotation. Now, they are exclusively slot 2. So you have to run AGL LR Gohan in slot 1 or some other capable option in slot 1. You know, I guess you could even run like Heart Virus Goku or something. I mean, that would make a legit rotation for sure. We'll talk about Heart Virus Goku here in a minute. But this Tech Goku and Gohan, man, they're 59% attack and 58% defense. And then they're getting a bunch, they're getting 5% attack, defense, and crit chance per key sphere obtained, which is really, really busted. You get them 20 key, and they're getting guaranteed double supers. Oftentimes, for me, they are triple supering with the amount of additional I have in that unit. They do have an active skill. It's one of these massive active skills that's giving guaranteed crit for the turn. I mean, they are just, again, they are actually still really solid. I mean, they came out right after that unit, right? Right after STR Goku and Gohan. They were like the Part 2 LR, basically. So I still really like that unit. They're a little maybe weaker on the defensive side, but type advantage, they do just fine indeed. So some other units on the team, talked about the leader, I've talked about this Tech Goku Gohan, I've talked ad nauseum about EZA LR Gohan, ridiculously good, right? Go ahead and watch any other video I've used him in, and I talk all about him. But for the sake of brevity, we'll go ahead and kind of just say he's really ridiculous. Between triple supering and guarding and his transformation, man, he is just, he's nay unstoppable, right? So we'll go ahead and move on to the rest of the team here, right, as we kind of close out this fight against Cell. Heart Virus Goku found his way onto the team, mostly for the reason is this is a relatively quick fight. Remember, his buffs are only up for the first 5 turns. And you'll see a bit later on, we actually do get pretty lucky with Heart Virus Goku. That's actually, I think, coming up next turn. But he has, basically his big, you know, kind of claim to fame is his 59% damage reduction, 59% chance to perform an additional super attack, and then a 59% chance to crit. So all 3 of those things makes him a very formidable character, right? Now, he has certainly aged a bit. He came out with AGL Trunks, who, by the way, didn't find his way onto this team, just for the record, right? But you can see here that he has lost his buffs, right? He's not starting with all that ki anymore. But we are below 59% HP, so he keeps his damage reduction, right? So we got real lucky in that regard, right? Just the way that things happened. Decided to go ahead and get him a super attack. Although it ended up being moot, right? Because we got the 9-turn stun, you know, flopped on him, right? But it happens that way sometimes. But again, overall, he's really solid. He does stack attack. And for an event like this, that's not the ultimate red zone, I think he's just fine. He's still a capable option. So you saw Fizz Future Gohan. Really, he's at his primo, just like Mui max effectiveness. If you have a Future Trunks on the team, who, again, I tried to run AGL Trunks, man, but just him only having Shocking Speed and Royal Lineage as key links, it sucked, man. He does not jive on this Android Cell Saga team. Such a shame, right? Again, on one of these units I talked about yesterday who just really got overpowered by the 7th anniversary power creep, and his leader skill really suffered for it for sure. So Fizz Future Gohan, though, still held his own, right? Having type advantage and still continuing to build up damage reduction still definitely helped his cause, right? So he found his way onto the team. He and Heart Virus Goku having type advantage in 2 separate phases in this fight really, really helped out. So who else am I missing? Super Vegeta, I think, is the last unit I haven't really talked about. So Super Vegeta, I really brought him along because just AGL Trunks was not working out. He was getting me killed every single time. Every time he'd get locked in slot 1 and we would just die, right? Because he gets all of his attack and defense on super attack, or at least on attacking, right? So if he does not attack, he has no defense at all. I mean, he was taking 200k per normal in a relatively easy event. What makes this event challenging is that they've limited you with categories, right? And then they have, you know, sort of power crept down extreme class units, right? So they're forcing you to make the team with super class units. But there's the canonical finish. You absolutely love to see that. That is the video, guys. We ended up getting the no item run done. Not too bad. Took me, I don't know, about 6 or 7 tries, something like that. Definitely took me a few more tries than I would have liked. But I'm going to wrap it up here. Slap a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new. And I will catch all of you in the next one. Later.